to this SUPboarder review of the Honu Fairlight All-Round iSUP. Now, the Fairlight is based off one of the other all-round iSUPs in the Honu range, the Byron. But this Fairlight is designed for the heavier rider, those looking to do yoga, those looking to paddle with the kids or even the dog, or just have a little bit more stability when you are out on the water. Looking at Honu in 2022, there's quite a few updates which we're going to be bringing you throughout the video. There are some new fittings on the board. We also have a new pump and also a redesigned fin box. Now, please do excuse the audio in this video. We may have a little bit of wind around today, but it is one of the sunniest days we've had in quite a while. Unfortunately, we've had quite a lot of flooding here in New South Wales in Australia. So thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who has been affected by the floods. We're going to try and get this board on the water today to review, find a safe place for us to get onto the water. Getting into the specifications of the Honu Fairlight. The length is 10 feet 9 inches, 33 inches of width, and 4.72 inches of thickness. It totals 265 litres. The weight comes in at 13 kilograms or 28.6 pounds for the full bag weight, and the board itself weighs just over 8 kilograms. It's a US center fin box with a 9-inch single center fin, and this board retails at 1,049 Australian dollars. You don't get a paddle with the package, but you can add it at checkout, and the prices do reflect what type of paddle you get. Now, the construction of the Honu boards, the Fairlight adopts a X-woven and fused drop stitch material with PVC layers and a triple bonded rail system, which increases that durability. Giving you a rundown of what's happening in the video today, we're going to be looking at the whole package of the Honu Fairlight, from the bag to all the accessories you get. We're going to be pumping up the board, looking at the fittings you get, hitting the water. I'm going to be out there on the water giving you that rundown of this board and how it feels whilst I'm paddling it. We're going to be getting off the water, deflating it, going through the pros, cons, value for money, and of course, who this board is going to suit. So make sure you stick around until the end to find out if this board is going to be right for you. Let's get this board unpacked, have a look at the accessories, and get into this review. So taking a look at the bag you get with this package, it's quite a comfortable and well-designed bag from Honu. You have padded straps and also a padded back when you are carrying it, which is nice. You have a lot of adjustable straps. There's a handle on top, a handle on the side, and there's a pocket on the front as well for when you are placing those accessories in. It also comes with wheels, so if you are transporting it and it is quite heavy for you, you can wheel it along. So opening the bag up, first thing you'll notice is that you'll get a pump with purchase. Now, this is a Bravo pump. We do have the handles here as well. This is an updated accessory from Honu in 2022. Bravo pump, double action. We have an inflate and also a deflate point on the pump. Double action, like I said, when you want to do the pumping, you can switch it on the lever here to the double action, which means you are pumping up on the upstroke and on the downstroke. And if you do just want to have that single action, you can flip the lever, and that way you can just pump on that downstroke. Make it a little bit easier when you are at that higher PSI. Moving into the front pocket here, let's have a look. We get a branded coil leash from Honu. These leashes have been great. We've been using Honu leashes for quite some time now. We really like the way that they feel. Also in this front pocket here, we have the single center fin, which is a click-in system. We're going to be getting to that soon once the board is inflated. And here we have our Honu Fairlight. Let's get this board inflated, ready to hit the water. Inflating the board is an easy process. Only took around 5 minutes to inflate. We got the board up to 18 PSI. It is recommended between 16 and 20 PSI. So looking at the inflated board here, we can see the outline shape of this board. It is 33 inches wide. So we do have quite a wide outline going up toward the nose. It does round off a little bit up the nose as well, but you also get that wide platform as you step back toward the tail too. So this board really screams stability when you are looking at it. It just has that wider outline. Fantastic, like I said, if you are paddling with the kids, maybe the dog, if you're a heavier rider, or even if you just want to get into a bit of SUP yoga, you do have this really nice big platform to stand on. Taking a look at the fittings on this board, there are quite a few things happening. We're going to start up at the nose. We have a handle that's been introduced on Honu boards in 2022. I think it's a fantastic addition to an all-round iSUP. It's not something you do see on a typical all-round board. It's also got a D-ring here as a toe attachment, so you can maneuver this board when you are in the shallow water. Moving back from that, we have the bungee system. Now, Honu have narrowed the bungee system. It's quite a small bungee area. You're not really going to be taking too much gear on you if you are just heading out on the water for an hour or two, but it does enable you to store some things underneath this bungee system if you need to, which is great. It's just a really subtle design. Moving back from that, looking at the center carry handle here, it is quite a big carry handle in the middle. That's really nice. You can really get your hands inside it when you want to carry it. And plus, if you are a smaller rider or you do have smaller arms, the handle does kind of move toward the side depending on which side you're carrying it. So it does make it a little bit less width from the handle to the rail when you are carrying, which is a nice touch as well. Looking at the deck pad, you can see that has the color scheme of the sea turtle color. It is a diamond pattern crocodile skin deck pad, so it is going to be nice and grippy when you are out there paddling. Going back from that, we go right back to the tail here. On the deck pad, we have a kicker at the back. So what this kicker does is going to really help you out when you are in the surf, when you are riding some waves, if you do go out there. This height here, when you put your foot up against it, it's going to enable you to jam your foot there, and it's going to give you more support as well when you are SUP surfing. Even with step back turns, if you're on the flat water, if you wanted to do that, you can step back as well. Now, this little bungee system here at the back, that tripped me out on the last review that I did. It's actually a little paddle holder. So if you were just to jump off for a swim, you can hook the end of your paddle into that and it's not going to go anywhere. Rather than lying it on the board and maybe having it blow off or fall off, you can actually secure it down with this little bungee. But I like to put my shoes under there or anything else that is not going to be bothered getting wet. Behind that, our valve point, and then behind that, another handle, which again, all-round iSUPs don't usually have handles on board, so a great addition. You can maneuver the board from this area here. You have these D-ring attachments here, again for towing, but also to connect your leash, which we'll do in a second. Flipping the board over, again, Honu have this new fin box design for 2022. It's actually only a smaller fin box that you get on the board, so it is easier to roll up. Now the fin that you get with it, it is a FCS2 9-inch connect fin, so there's no tools involved. What you do is you slot the fin into the box like so, and once it's in, hit the top and you click it in. So really easy design. If you want to get it out, you pop it up from there and it comes out and you can slot it out. Our deflection test measures the stiffness of the iSUP. The way we set it up, we get a 1.5 meter gap in the middle of the board. We get a 75 kilogram weight on top of the board, and we see how far the board bends. The Honu Fairlight deflected at 17 millimeters. As a 4.7 inch thick board, this is one of the stiffest boards we've ever tested in the deflection test. Time to get the board out on the water. So guys, I'm out on the water on the Honu Fairlight, and I just really wanted to highlight again just about the recent flooding we've had. You can see behind me that the water has come up to some of these houses here. It is a very unfortunate situation. We do wish everyone all the best, and hopefully everyone is nice and safe. It's been really tricky to find somewhere to review this board, especially with all of the recent weather we've had. So we just found this little inlet here. There might be a few little submerged trees and things like that, but we're going to try and take it easy, keep an eye out for danger. I've got my phone on me as a safety device as well in case I need to contact anyone. But let's try and get this review underway. The first thing I noticed jumping on the water was just how stable the Fairlight is. Now, if you have watched the Honu Byron video that we've reviewed recently, you would have saw in that video that I had a con to that board, which was that they should have a 6-inch version or a board for a heavier rider. Well, this is it. This is such a great board for the heavier rider, and it's only 4.72 inches thick. So what that means is with a thinner board, you're closer to the water, you have a lower center of gravity, it's going to be more stable, you're going to get a bit better feeling of the water, you're going to be able to feel how that board is actually moving. On a 6-inch board, you're quite high above the water. Although you get a bit more stiffness in a 6-inch board, Honu have really gone above and beyond to try and get that stiffness into a thinner board such as this Fairlight. And I think for the heavier rider, you could really push this up to 110, maybe even 120 kilograms if you are a bit more advanced, but definitely over 100 kilogram rider, or if you are paddling with your kids, with maybe a larger dog, doing yoga on this board. It's just really stable, like we've said before. As a board that's 33 inches in width, it does have really nice glide. You'd think from a wider board that it would slow it down just a little bit because there's more board in the water to push along. But actually, because you are it's sinking in the water a little bit with that thickness, you've got stiffness from the board. You've got all of these elements that combine to create a really well-made and designed board. You're getting some quite good glide from this. I'm paddling with a bit of tide at the moment, with a bit of wind as well, and even paddling against tide, against wind, you're really noticing how fast this board does move through the water. And like I said before, if you are carrying some gear on this board, if you do have a bit of extra weight, then this board is still going to work for you. The tracking as well of this board, we'll notice that it does paddle in a straight line. Like I just mentioned, paddling in a bit of tide, a bit of wind, so it's pushing me off center a little bit, but that 9-inch single fin in the back still does its job really, really well. I'd say that maybe we could get a slightly bigger fin in there. It would improve the tracking a little bit more, especially if your technique isn't spot on. Had a couple of step back turns that we did, and it just feels really nice and simple to step back there. Remember, it's 33 inches wide. You got a nice wide platform to step back, do your step back turn. It's really stable. It turns with ease with that single center fin as well. And you are able to really rock it from side to side, balance on a little bit more as well. So this board is quite maneuverable. It just feels really comfortable, really easy to paddle. And the board is super lightweight. And this is definitely one of the highlights of this board. It only weighs around 8 kilograms. And that is fantastic if you are a lighter rider, or if you don't want to carry heavy SUPs, especially if you're carrying it a longer distance. And in the water, it feels really lively. It just feels really nice under your feet to paddle. It doesn't feel heavy, doesn't feel slow. It doesn't feel like it's sinking or really sluggish in the water. It just feels like it has a bit of spark to it. Just to bring you up to speed about Honu, it was started in 2001, but recently it was taken over by an Australian couple who really revamped the whole design of this brand and the ethos behind it. They have a 2+2 warranty, which means you're getting 2 years warranty on the board, plus an extra 2 years of free repair. So that's 4 years of repairs on your board and a 2-year warranty. That's a really great brand commitment from Honu. It means you're buying into a product that is going to last quite a long time. Honu also donate 1% of their profits to helping the environment and the planet. They really volunteer their hours to local conservation charities, and they support those as well. I think it's fantastic to see a brand getting behind some environmental initiatives. There's a lot of pros on this board. We've spoken about it throughout the whole video, but the cons, to be fair, there aren't really any. There could be a few small minor changes, maybe a bigger center fin just to add a little bit more tracking. Then again, you're not going to be able to get that smaller fin box that Honu have put into their design. So there are a few trade-offs and a few compromises if you are starting to take away or add things from the board. The fittings are fantastic. You get the front handle, the rear handle to maneuver the board around. You're getting a bungee storage system, a paddle holder system. The deck pad's really comfortable. You're getting a great fin. They've got the triple bonded rails. I think there's not much you can say wrong about Honu. Probably the only thing, and it's something that they'll be looking for in the future, is that they're only available in Australia and the USA at the moment. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they're going to be getting into the European market soon. Before we get off the water, I just wanted to highlight who this board is going to suit. Now, if you are a heavier rider weighing up to 110, maybe even a little bit more kilograms, I think this board is a fantastic entry-level board. You're getting that 4.72 inches of thickness, which is a better feel on the water. If you're thinking of getting the kids involved in stand-up paddleboarding, maybe they're at a young age and you want to sit them on the front of the board, this has great stability. Nice big platform for them to sit on. But if you are that more advanced paddler, maybe think about going to the Byron or something else in the Honu range. Moving into that value for money, yeah, I think you're getting some great value for money here. This board is such an all-round board, really performs well in a range of different conditions and for different riders as well, which I think is fantastic. So if you're using this to maybe do a little bit of flat water paddling, maybe do a bit of yoga, maybe even getting it out into the surf for some little waves, for that, just over $1,000 Australian dollar price point, it is a great board. It's going to last you a long time. You're getting great customer service. You're buying into a brand that has environmental values. Although you don't get a paddle with the package, you can add that on at checkout, and they have that range of different constructions of paddle, and obviously that changes the price. But adding a paddle on, it's going to bump up that price a little bit more if you don't have one. But I just think it's definitely value for money when you're getting such a great board from your purchase. So getting off the water, let's deflate this Honu Fairlight and finish off the review. Thanks very much for tuning in to this SUPboarder review. Remember, leave a comment below as well. We'd love to hear your thoughts on how this review was. Thanks very much. We'll see you on another SUPboarder review really soon.